Today we're reviewing a movie that's been remade for the third time. Once in 1967, again in 1998, and now 2015. Does that mean we're going to get another version like 15 years later? Far from the Maddening Crowd, directed by Thomas Vinterberg, based on the book by Thomas Hardy. No, not Bane for the Dark Knight Rises, the author, Thomas Hardy. This movie stars Carey Mulligan as Miss Everdeen. I know she has a first name in the movie, but I don't know how to say the name, so I'm just going to call her Miss Everdeen. That's what she's called for most of the movie anyway. This movie is set in the 1800s. England, and she inherits her uncle's farm after he dies, and it's a very big farm. She becomes boss to all her workers. She wants all workers to call her mistress instead of a master, because a master is a title for a man, a woman, and she's very strong-willed, very independent. She has three men who all want her heart and all want to marry her. Matthias Schoonardi plays Gabriel Oak, a sheep herder who lives nearby. He loses his farm because of something bad happens, and he's having trouble paying the debts to the people who he owes money in regards to paying for the farm, and he's forced to work as a sheep herder for Miss Everdeen. Then you have William Baldwood, played by Michael Sheen, and he's a very rich and handsome man, very smitten by Miss Everdeen and certainly wants to marry her. Finally, we have Sergeant Francis Troy, a member of the Queen's Army, and loves Miss Everdeen for her beauty and definitely wants to marry her as well. And she's pretty torn by all three of these men. She's a very proud woman. She doesn't know who she wants to fall in love with, and she does choose between the three of them in the movie, but it's quite obvious who she truly loves in the movie as you watch the film, and she has very good chemistry with this particular man. And I did like this movie. The acting in this movie from Carey Mulligan, Matthias Schoonardi, and the rest of the actors is excellent. The chemistry Carey Mulligan has with the man that she truly loves in the movie is very good. The cinematography and the costume design is amazing. Probably the area that this movie could get an Oscar nomination for, especially the costume design. I really think this movie could get an Oscar nomination for that. Next, let's talk about the negatives, because this movie does have some negatives. Considering this has been made for now the third time. I haven't seen the first two versions. What's interesting about the 1967 version is Sergeant Francis Troy, and that's played by Terrence Stamp, aka Lord Zod from Superman 2. So that was very interesting finding that information out. And I don't know how good those versions are, or how good the book is, but this particular movie doesn't do a good job of juggling the love interests. I mean, there are three love interests in this movie. This movie feels like an 1800 version of The Bachelorette. And this movie feels so bloated with these three love interests. It would make sense to focus on two of them, the one that she truly loves and one of the other love interests, and then put the other one towards the background until you need him to come forward for the sake of plot or whatever. But this movie doesn't really do a good job of that, and I wish it did a better job because I was hoping for a bit more from this movie. William Baldwood's character, you almost don't need him in the movie. I wonder, why is he even here? I understand he's in the book and he's plays an important part in the book, but He almost feels like he's not even needed in this movie. And Juno Temple, she's pretty good in the movie. She has an interesting part in the film. I thought she was okay in the movie as well. Overall, this movie is very good. I did like this, and it's definitely worth seeing in the theater for a nice limited release. I'm gonna give this movie a B+. Definitely check this movie out.